It's the last night of Taylor Swift, and we're just about to leave. And we're dressed as bees, because we like bees.
And we be sad to his ending.
Yes, we be sad. So, we're going to get going soon, and we're going to dance all night. Hi again, everyone. This is the last part of the Groupie Diaries, and it's the 1989 tour in Manchester. And we started our day in Glasgow. So as we were packing, we decided to put on some throwback Swift. We had Journey to Fearless on the computer. It was really weird to see after seeing the 1989 tour. We quickly packed up our stuff, got ready, got something to eat, and then headed to the train station. There wasn't much luggage space on this train, so at one point I was actually sitting with my suitcase right next to me because my suitcase was so big. And then we had to swap trains, and on the second train, at one point me and Lily decided to start singing Thug Story, and there were some Swifties further down who were singing it back to us, and it was a lot of fun. There's definitely a social thing to travelling to shows, because you meet a lot of people. So once we got to Manchester, we found our hotel. It was kind of difficult to find, but we got there. And we went to the Hard Rock Cafe, because Lily's family like Hard Rock Cafe t-shirts. Got changed into our outfits. We were going to be bees that night. And then we went into town for the show. Unfortunately, Lily met some people in the queue with us, and this girl, she was maybe about 12 years old, she was crying. Her mum had bought tickets to the show, and unfortunately they'd been cancelled for some reason. And this girl had clearly put a lot of work into her costumes, her signs. She had lights all over her. Her mum had lights all over her. She had about 4 different posters. She honestly looked so cool and so ready to party. So she was really, really disappointed that her tickets had been cancelled. So what Lily did was she took a photo of the girl, took all her details, and said, if there's anything I can do, I'll try and pass this on to somebody. I might not be able to do anything, but, you know, I'll give it a shot. And luckily, they managed to get in. It wasn't anything to do with us, but they did manage to get in, so that was really good to see. Side note, I was very, very happy to see that this girl also got Loft 89 in London, so that was really awesome to see. That put a smile on my face. To see, because she really put a lot of work into her signs and outfits and stuff. And she seems really cool, so shout out to you, because I didn't catch your name, but you seem like a really cool person and a really dedicated Swiftie. And your mum was pretty awesome too. Other Swifties that I bumped into that night were my friend Paul. Hi Paul. Paul was really a lot of fun, really awesome, and I was happy to bump into him. I also bumped into his friends Jenny and Steph, so it was really nice to catch up with them. And when we went into the venue, there was a very, very long line for Taylor Nation. So what we decided to do was we just went over, quickly showed Sierra our costumes, and gave her a big hug and thanked her for making our experience on the tour so much more fun. If you get a chance to visit the Taylor Nation booth, do it, because those guys are so much fun, seriously. So we quickly said goodbye to her and thanked her for making the show so much more fun, and we got into the line for the Keds booth so we could still get a photo. And we ended up getting 2 photos. We got one photo as our bees, and then we got another photo with the girl and her mother who had trouble getting in because they were really cool and they kind of became our friends. You make friends in lines. Or at least I do. Also, shout out to Liam's friend Jared, who Liam had said he was going to meet up with him, and then suddenly from nowhere this lovely, fun-loving guy just jumps out of nowhere and goes, "Hello!" And I didn't realise it was him. I just thought this was like a really, really happy person who just wanted to spread their joy around all the fans. So I was just being polite. I was like, "Hi! Are you excited for the show?" Yeah. But then Liam started chatting more in depth and I was like, "Oh, you know him, okay, right. It's not just this random guy who's came over to chat." So he was really fun. We literally just got a couple of minutes with him because the show was about to start, but you're awesome, Jared. We love you. So then we go into the show and Vance Joy's about to start. So we find our seats and listen to Vance Joy again. In the break we started taping lights to our signs so that they'd light up. We had this really cool light that kind of looked like a buzzy bee for some reason. So we got our signs ready just in time for the fan cam. And then after the fan cam and after Calvin Harris's song, it was time for Taylor to come on. And apart from the Glasgow show, I think our view in Manchester was probably the best. And we were also surrounded by a lot of fun people that night. Again, it was like everybody had brought a sign, everybody had brought their dancing and enthusiasm. We were like, woo, woo. Yeah, party block. Yeah. Shout out to Iona and her sister. A Million Shining Stars and The Stars That Shined. They're both on Taylor Connect. I didn't know who I was looking for. You were stood in front of me, but I didn't get to say hello in person. So if you happen to see this, hi guys. And then when Taylor came on, it was like a big party again. Firstly, because we were in the party block. Secondly, because we had a really good view. And thirdly, because it was the last show. And if you're going to go hard, then you might as well do it at the last show of the tour. So we gave it everything we had, every scrap of energy we had left. And I didn't get any pictures this night. I know Liam got some good pictures. But I kind of got some good photos the second night in Germany from about the same angle, so I thought I won't bother tonight. I'm just going to have a lot of fun. And that's exactly what I did. So it was a lot of fun, especially this night, because at one point in the show, Taylor really seemed to be engaging with the audience and she was looking into the crowd at everybody's signs, kind of pointing people out. At one point she said to one of the girls, "Oh, you're cute and you're crying and you're dressed as an angel." And I can tell you now, if I'd been that girl, I would have been crying too. By the end of the night, I just didn't want to go home. But I suppose you have to go home at some point. We had a lot more shows than most other people, so, you know, we can't complain. And then what really confused me was they'd been playing We Didn't Start the Fire at the end of each show, and they played a different song in Manchester. Still don't know what it was. But that was kind of like, oh, they can change this too. Shifty Swifties, changing things about. So then we practically crawled back to the hotel. Luckily we had a hotel where they would make you pizza at any time of day or night. Would I go to 5 shows again? Absolutely. It was so much fun. It was so fun to see people that I knew. It was so fun to connect with so many people. Like, whether I knew you already, whether I didn't know you already, whether you've just seen me on Tumblr, whether I've seen you on Tumblr. But that was a lot of fun. Seriously, I've made so many friends and it felt a lot more social than the Red era. Would I do 5 shows in 6 days again? Probably not. When travel plans started to go wrong, it got rather stressful and it meant that we missed out on opportunities to look around. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work as well. And I think maybe I would have made it more of a holiday if I were to do it again. Thank you everybody who's been watching these videos. Whether you've came across them just randomly, whether you came across this one randomly, or whether you've been following my whole journey, I really appreciate the love and support. I can see all the details of where you're all from, and that's really cool to see. If you haven't subscribed yet, but you kind of like my personality or my videos, then I'm not going to stop making them. I don't plan to anyway, so feel free to keep subscribing. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll hopefully have more for you soon. So thanks guys. It's been a lot of fun, and sadly this is the end. So, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.